This is Richard Smith with the Kansas City Chiefs Power Hour podcast, where we talk about all things Kansas City Chiefs. Well, Chiefs Kingdom, for whatever reason, my podcast got cut off halfway through, and I am not willing to cut you short on this podcast tonight because we have so much to talk about, and it was such an exciting day in training camp. So I think it got left off. I just talked about D Ford and him. He needs to get back on the practice field and get into full pads and show Kansas City what he's made of. And then I had moved on to Mitch Morris, starting center, had a foot injury. He's all healed up and ready to get back on the field. That's a great thing for the Kansas City Chiefs. We obviously need a great offensive line, and we've had that over the years, and I look for that to continue, but we need the likes of Mitch Morris on our offensive line, so that's a huge deal for our running and passing attack. So I really like to see him back. Another one on the injury report is Spencer Ware. Spencer Ware is coming back from that PCL, LCL tear. He's made a great comeback, and he performed phenomenal today. And, they said it was just the rookies and the quarterbacks, but it was also people coming off the injured list and the PUP list from the year before. So Spencer Ware looked great today in practice, and I was really happy to see that. He's definitely going to be a battle this preseason and training camp with Charcandrick West. And with either of those two in our, the second position in our depth chart looks really good. So I don't see either one of them, pushing the other one off the roster, but it's definitely going to be a battle. And whichever one it is great. They're both versatile running backs, but we know that Ware is more of a power running back, but he's elusive too. And Charcandrick West is more of that speedy back that he's elusive. He's fun to watch, and he's got some great moves. So I look for that battle to be extremely interesting and a fun part of training camp and the preseason, headed into the regular season. And we'll just have to wait and see what happens with him. I don't have any prediction for that. That's one of those things that, West has always been healthy, and Ware really has been too, and he's been a solid addition to this team. He filled that gap in between Jamal Charles and the running back that we have in place now, in Kareem Hunt. So he's not a Kareem Hunt, but he's a good third down running back, and I'd really like to have him back in the depth chart and throw him into some packages and see what he's capable of from here on out. Just pretty much preparing him to get back on the field. D'Anthony Thomas, our wide receiver, had a fracture in his leg. He had a great day today, and the Chiefs are pretty much, they're just preparing him for full contact. So he's not really limited, but they want to be careful with him because they don't want that to spring back up, because something about fractures, they seem to linger around, and they that's one of those things that you can tweak it, you can refracture, you can fracture it even worse. So they really, really need to be careful with D'Anthony Thomas, and they will be. We have a great training staff. We have a great medical staff, one of the best in the NFL. So I truly look for him to come back in a great way, and I hope he produces down the depth chart. We run those spread packages with 4 receivers, he'll be on the field. So I really, really hope he comes back and comes back in a major way. But it was just nice to see him have a great day today, and just getting ready for full contact. So we'll move on to what I gathered today from training camp. And, there's some really, really good points I'd like to make. The first one is really the importance of the rookies getting a head start to get the reps in before the veterans show up. And, that's basically throwing all the different packages at them. Big Red is one of those people that is versatile in his packages and, has packages on top of packages. And we need we need our rookies to have a firm grip of what's going on in the offense or defense before the veterans show up, so we can mesh. And basically right now is a cram session for learning and getting reps in, and just really feeling your role on the team here. And that is just a really important piece of transitioning, from college to the NFL, or getting yourself back in the rotation from injury, or being a new starting quarterback. So it's just an exciting time, and it's just really important that these rookies put in their full effort here in the first 3 days, because if they're not prepared, it's going to be a long training camp for them, and I know none of them want that. In Chiefs Kingdom, we don't want our players falling behind in their progressions. So with that being said, we'll go on to talk about transitioning. Braylon Speaks to a consistent 3-down edge rusher. He really needs to polish his craft and realize as the season goes on that other teams study film on him, and they'll have. He needs to be very versatile in his adjustments to each team each week. They're going to be studying film on Braylon, and he's a great edge rusher, but we need him to be a pass rusher as well. So I look for that to be a huge deal in training camp. One of the main stories, we're going to have to keep our eye on Braylon Speaks and how he transitions into the NFL. Because D Ford hasn't been consistent. He doesn't really stop the run. We can't count on him for 16 games. He's a great pass rusher, but we need an all-around linebacker, and D Ford has not been that guy. So Reid has been displaying more versatile packages in the offense. He's what I like to call a master in disguise. Always just one step ahead of the defense. So, and that's something that we want here in Kansas City. We understand that Big Red is a very complicated, versatile type of coach who is innovative and always mixing things up. He's always just one step ahead of the defense. So, and I look for him to utilize Pat Mahomes in that way and not look back. And we're all excited about that, obviously. And the next and last thing that I truly looked at today from day one in training camp is D Ford's consistency. I've mentioned him multiple times. We love D Ford. We love what he brings to the table. But you got to play more than 3 games in a 16-game season. So I really hope that he can step it up. And I'm not really quite sure if it's one of those things where it's mental toughness or injury or what the deal is. But if you're really having a hard time staying healthy and staying on the field, back off a bit. You don't do us any good on the sideline. We need you in the game. So you're on the chopping block. We need you to step up because we got Braylon Speaks right behind you and a guy named Dorian O'Daniel. So this is your year, D. I want you to show us something, because if you don't, you're out the door, buddy. So another thing that was really, really, really exciting today was Reid has made it very clear he will not in any way limit Mahomes on any level of his game. He's made it very clear that this is his team and he needs to take control and be a leader, which he obviously has, and you hear that with Kelsey in that interview. And they're obviously meshing real well together. You don't really call somebody patty cakes unless you know them real well. So, Reid believes Holmes will hit his peak ability here really, really soon, and I think we all look forward to that and agree with him. And that's something that Reid is really good at developing quarterbacks. So I don't doubt it. He spent a year behind Alex Smith. The man should be more prepared than any man ever coming into the NFL. So it's just nice to see him get on the field and get some reps in and really get some attention. And it's going to be a great year, Kansas City. I didn't want to leave you with the last half of this broadcast. I don't know what happened. I got cut off, but it is a really important day for Kansas City and the Chiefs. So I wanted to make sure that you guys got the rest of this podcast. I love Kansas City and I love the Chiefs, and I will continue to record every single day from here on out because there's a lot of news every day when it comes to training camp, preseason, and heading into the regular season. So with that being said, Kansas City, I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I will speak with you all tomorrow. This is Richard Smith of the Kansas City Chiefs Power Hour, where we talk about all things Kansas City Chiefs.